I went and saw Top Gun over the weekend. Friday afternoon, I went to the IMAX. I took my 14, my 11, and my 7-year-old kids. We all loved it. All 4 Travis boys were there watching the movie together. My wife had a school event she had to be at. So the 4 of us went to go watch it. I gave it a 10 out of 10. My 14-year-old gave it a 10 out of 10. 11-year-old gave it a 10 out of 10. Only one who didn't was the 7-year-old. And that was because he had trouble, he said, telling who the pilots were because he wasn't reading their names on the helmets that they were wearing, because he's just now gotten good at reading and he wasn't fast enough to recognize who the pilots were necessarily. We all loved it. Packed theater. Biggest launch on Memorial Day weekend in terms of audience in Tom Cruise's career. Never has he had a more successful movie ever. It's also the biggest movie of all time for Memorial Day weekend. Why? I told you this before the movie came out, that it was going to be a huge success because it's arriving at the perfect time. There is a desperate demand in America right now. I can feel it. I felt it all throughout Memorial Day. I've been feeling it. I think it started in November. I think it's going to roll of last year. I think it's going to roll all the way through the midterms here. We have got a desperate demand in America for America is Awesome programming and content. For years, 1619 Project, all this woke BS out there has been selling the idea that America is an awful, fundamentally racist, terrible place. The vast majority of Americans don't agree with that. And the Democrat Party, by and large, its entire basis for existence has become everything is racist. That's everything when it boils down to Democrats. Every one of their arguments boils down to everything is racist, everything is transphobic, everything is homophobic, everybody is awful in America, except for the woke people who are wearing 3 masks and have the Ukraine flag as their bios and have their pronouns in their bio. Everything else is awful. Top Gun Maverick was the antidote to that. Pro-America, America is awesome. There is a huge market right now. This is why I came on recently and I said, hey, if I were in charge of greenlighting shows, I would greenlight right now a streaming series on the Lewis and Clark expedition. Would be the number 1 show in America. You look at how well Yellowstone is doing. I think that's a part of this too. The average American is awesome. Our military is great. There is a desperate demand for that kind of programming. And I'm not surprised. It's a great movie, entertaining movie. Took 36 years after the original Top Gun.